I Believe series from the St. Jude Apostolate Yaba. The religious life. In the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 4, from verse 32, we read that the early Christians were of one heart and mind, seeking God. No one had claim to anything, but they all owned everything in common. They possessed all in common for the sake of the mission. This is what the religious life entails. A stable form of common life, bound by the public profession of the vows of obedience, chastity, and poverty, in accordance with a specific charism, that is spirituality, for the sake of carrying out different forms of apostolic service to the people of God. Following the example of the early Christians, this stable form of common life that religious life is has different forms of expression. Number one, we have the canons regula. Unlike the monastic life, where those belonging to this form of life are all brothers, except in few occasions that one or two may be chosen from among them to become a priest, those belonging to canon regula are all clerics, that is, they are all priests. This form of religious life was made popular by St. Augustine of Hippo when he gathered around him many of his clergy to live with him in the cathedral. He gave them rules to guide their public profession of the vows of obedience, poverty, and chastity. These rules, which he gave to them, would later be adopted by some other religious orders, such as the Dominicans, the Norbertines, and of course the Augustinians. There are 8 chapters to this rule. Let us make a brief attempt to explain, to summarize each of the chapters. Chapter 1 instructs that everything must be possessed in common. For as you live in the community, you ought to have one heart and mind, seeking God. Chapter 2, pray as a community at scheduled times and hours. Chapter 3, do penance by fasting and abstaining from food and drinks as your strength allows. Chapter 4, do not detach yourself from worldly attraction and act in a manner worthy of your holy calling. Chapter 5, work for the common good of the community. Prefer the progress of the community to your own individual progress. Chapter 6 then instructs you to be quick to ask for forgiveness and then to easily grant forgiveness. Chapter 7, be obedient to your superior. And then chapter 8 instructs that these rules should be read weekly and that you should pay attention to them and then ask for the grace to observe them. Beautiful rules. And that is the first expression of religious life. Second expression is the mendicant orders, which began from the 13th century with St. Francis of Assisi founding the friars, the Franciscans, in 1209, and St. Dominic de Guzman founding the Dominicans in 1216. Other mendicant orders would later join: the Augustinian Hermits, the Carmelites. Those belonging to these mendicant orders are generally referred to as friars. The Franciscans as Grey Friars, the Dominicans as Black Friars, the Augustinians as Austin Friars, and the Carmelites as White Friars. Next episode, we shall take you through the characteristics of the mendicant orders. Until then, through the prayers of St. John Thaddeus, may God renew the face of the earth. Amen.